Just click and release.
Now you're live.
Ay, ay, ay. All of the goodness I just had. All of this good. Oh boy. So
It
those
wasn't
of you,
me. I'm telling you, it wasn't me this time. It was not me.
yeah, yeah. So those of you that are joining us, we had a little bit of a glitch. So we did our introduction as usual. I had some good things to say as usual.
And they missed your singing. That's a good thing.
So, but we didn't press the live button. So now we're here. So we apologize, but thank you again for joining us. So Gerald, as you were saying,
What was I saying?
don't you want to apologize to the people?
Oh, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties that we
There we go.
had. It was
There we
not
go.
me this time. I'm telling you, it
It
was not.
wasn't me. Yeah. I think that's how that song go. It wasn't me. Yes.
It was not me.
But we were just, wishing everyone a happy Father's Day and hope that everyone enjoyed their Daddy Day or their Father's Day. Those of you that are fathers, and we have a great show ahead. Of course, fabulous guests as usual.
Music and
And
clothes.
huh?
Music and clothes.
Yes, music and clothes. See, and I love that. Like I'm all about fashion. I love me some fashion and I love me some music. So it's like, ooh, yes, my kind of show. Let's get it.
Yeah.
So yes, so it's a great combination. And of course we have our buff. So let's go ahead and get to our buff, our life media moment. I had a brain fart for a second.
A
Wow.
lot of technical difficulties are happening tonight.
Jeez, no, mine is age. I need to take notes because I forget stuff. I'm not ashamed. No. So we have our life media moment with Buffy Patterson. So let's get Buff out here. Come on, Buff.
Hey,
Hey,
Well,
darling.
I'm excited, people. This is Life's positive media moment, and I today want to talk about something that amazing that happened yesterday. We had a parade yesterday. If you
Oh,
guys can tune in, it was the first time in history that they honored the Buffalo Soldiers. And I don't know if you saw
ah,
that, but they were riding high on their horses in their blue uniforms. And I was so proud as a Black American that our Black Buffalo Soldiers were honored. It was the most beautiful thing to have Black men riding on horses and had their blue uniforms on. And let me tell you a little bit of history of why the Buffalo Soldiers are so amazing. First of all, they were created in 1866. They fought in 4 wars. They weren't just Civil War. They fought in the Mexican American War, which we won, the Philippine American War, Mexican Border War, World War One, and World War Two.
oh, wow.
And
Okay.
the last Buffalo Soldier died November 13th, 2024, at 107 years old.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Now, I bet most people don't know that.
So
That's
our Buffalo Soldiers were more than just Civil War coming to the aid, and without the Buffalo Soldiers, we would not have won that war um, against the South. And it made me feel so proud as an American to see us riding high. I don't. There's a monument erected for the Buffalo Soldiers in Leavenworth, Kansas. But as far as in being a proud American, if you don't get a chance, everybody please pull up the section where the Buffalo Soldiers are riding high on horses and marching. And if you see them marching, they have their own cadence. And if you look at the whole parade, at first the Minutemen come out, and the Minutemen, they don't even have a little, they're just kind of just marching. But every group of people have their own little cadence. And the Buffalo Soldiers came up swaggy P, swagging. So anybody, I don't know if you get a chance to see as Americans who we helped forged America, please go out and take a segment, and I guarantee you it'll bring a tear to your eye.
I can only
The
imagine. Yeah.
Buffalo Soldiers, 6 wars that we were a part of. and they rode
Wow.
strong. So I want to just give honor to them for everybody that fought for us. It was the Army's 250th anniversary. And if you know, you realize the Army's older than America. It was created before America was actually created. So I want to give honor to every person, you too, Gerald, that served this
Yes.
country well. Without you, we would not be as strong as where we are. So I'm going to give it to all our
That's
military
true.
personnel, all Army personnel. Give a little clap. So
Yes. Hand praise.
yes, yes. So that's Life's positive media moment today. Next week or next time, I got something hot for you. Hot.
All right. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. Now that I didn't know. I didn't know it was 6 wars. Now that's interesting.
I didn't
Yeah.
either. That was a lot. I didn't know a lot about the Buffalo Soldiers. So
Yeah, that's see, and this is why I say, when people tune into our show, they
you always
always
learn.
have a history, a history lesson. And I love it
Yeah,
because I learned so much. And I mean, I know I'm not the only one.
yeah.
So this is good. Thank you,
And
boss.
learn how
She
to
always
hit
brings
the
good
go
stuff.
live button too.
Yes, exactly. 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 I love it. Hi, Desiree. We have Desiree joining us and Renata. Thank
Yeah.
you, Renata, for joining us. And those of you that want to join us, join the conversation. Again, it's Conscious Rising Conversations because we have conversations about a lot of things that some of us we discuss and some things are not quite talked about mostly, but feel free, join the conversation, send a message, give a congratulations, just give some type of acknowledgement to our guest even, because
Right.
sometimes they come on and it's not easy coming on this show. It's not easy doing interviews.
Especially
um,
live interviews.
Yes, and live interviews. So definitely send a comment to them and just, give them encouragement as well. But we like to, get you all's input along with the interviews. So feel free to do so. All right, Gerald, what we have up next?
We have
Because I don't have my schedule.
well,
Just
this
saying.
is a commercial free show. How about
I'm
that?
just saying.
How about that? We have a commercial free show tonight.
Oh, now we're going to change things. Okay.
Well, you didn't get the memo because you weren't on the last show.
I'm sick. I'm sick.
Okay.
All right. So what we have coming up next?
We are to prepare ourselves to be captivated by Bennie J. Smith, a celebrated saxophonist and vocalist whose career spans 5 decades. And trust me when I say he can talk, he can talk. We will not have a problem.
So he played a saxophone.
He played a saxophone and
I thought it
apparently
was
he
the
can sing.
flute. I thought he was playing the flute.
Lord
Just
have
kidding.
mercy. So he played with some. He opened for some groups that I'm sure you've heard of before: Midnight Stars, Zapp, Evelyn Champagne King, Roy Ayers, and many more.
I love Evelyn Champagne.
So let's bring to the stage Mr. Bennie J. Smith.
All right, welcome.
Hey. How's everybody doing?
Good.
We
How you
are
doing?
great. How are you?
I said Bennie. I'm sorry.
Wonderful. First of all, giving full honor and glory to the Creator. I want to thank you guys for having me to be on your show this evening, and I have to give a shout out to my super amazing superstar publicist, award-winning publicist, Miss Desiree L. Benson, for
Yeah.
making this all happen. Hey, Miss Desiree, if you're out there.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, there. She listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
Man, let me tell you, I stepped out on faith, man, and in order to broaden my brand, man, you got to have a publicist or someone that's gonna help get your brand out there and expand it. And like I said, I just stepped out on faith, man, and next thing you know, she graciously allowed me to be a client. It's not a right. This is a privilege to be a client of Miss Desiree L. Benson because she has some wonderful superstar clients on her roster as it is. So to be in that company, man, I'm just humbled and blessed and honored to even be a part of that. So I thank her. been doing some amazing things ever since I became a client. I guess April the 10th, I think was the official date. But it's just been a great ride so far. So how's everybody doing, man?
We are good. We are good. We excited to have you join us.
Oh man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
So tell us, just give us a little bit of a backdrop of, who's Mr. Smith? Where did he come from? What's going on?
Okay. Well, first of all, I was born in Danville, Kentucky. I'm the eldest of four. I had the privilege of having a two-parent household. Went through the first to the fourth grade in Lexington, Kentucky, called Booker T. Washington Elementary before integration. And after my mom and dad separated and divorced, we moved back to her hometown of Danville, Kentucky. And in the fifth grade, starting in the fifth grade, I began to, address my aggressions because, the family structure got disrupted. Here's the funny part.
Mm-hmm.
Every summer we go to my grandmother's in Danville, for the summer. And then we always have a great time with family and friends. And then normally we head back to Lexington right before school started. But something was funny that summer of whatever that year was, because we weren't packing, we weren't going nowhere, we were staying in Danville. I'm like, whoa. So, and I just realized that we realized actually that our parents were separating, and so I started elementary school, the fifth grade in Danville, Kentucky, at a school called Edna L. Tolliver Elementary School. And as I was addressing my aggressions, man, I was getting in the class cut up and got sent to the principal's office at least once or every other week. But my fifth grade, I wasn't trying to be bad, it's just that, you're used to having the two parents, and all of a sudden, family structure just changed, man. And I'm like, so anyway, in the fifth grade, this particular classroom, my teacher was Miss Jean Harney. And back in those days, they used to have posters of different instruments in the classroom. And I was looking, drums were interesting to me. The trumpet was interesting to me, but there were other people that already were playing drums, and the trumpet. So I saw this oblong looking instrument. It was called the alto saxophone. I said, I saw all these keys and everything on it, and it was fascinating to me. So I decided right then and there, I'm going to learn how to play the alto saxophone. That's when I started the beginning band at the Edna Tolliver Elementary School. So I was in the band from fifth, So I was in the fifth through the sixth grade, and then got to Bate Junior High School. Continued in band from the seventh and the first half of the eighth grade, and then lo and behold, we moved back to Lexington, Kentucky. And the second half of my eighth grade year, I stayed in the band under that direction of Miss Onan. And after my eighth grade year, going into my ninth grade year, I developed interest in sports. So I wanted to play football. So I got me a Winburn Junior High football uniform. I don't know what position I would play, but I just dressed out every day. I got in the game.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I got in the game maybe 3 or 4 times that season. That's when the team was winning so far behind. I got in the game, and I how you try to make people think you played in the game. I scruffed my jersey, my jersey, and my pants in the dirt and mud like I done played something. But anyway, but I love the sport. So when I moved to the 10th grade, my sophomore year in high school, here in Lexington, you have the first to the fifth, first to the sixth, seventh through the ninth, and then 10th through 12th. So I started my sophomore year at Lafayette High School. So I started getting more serious with my position. I had a friend, I grew up in Charlotte Court projects on the west side of Lexington, named Tommy Walker. He had actually encouraged me to focus on one particular position. So I did, and he was playing defensive back, and that's the position that I focused on. And needless to say, I forgot what string that I was on in the 10th grade, but I worked my way up. And my junior year, I finally made my way up to first string varsity, JV. And then my senior year, not only did I work my way to the first string, I started and I lettered. Okay, and this is a funny part right here, guys. Keep in mind,
you're gonna talk about the boxing part, because that's interesting to me.
Yeah. No, but ironically, I was playing football, so I did not play in the high school band at Lafayette High School, is where I went to high school at by the way, graduated. Now let me back up a little bit. When I became 14, when we moved back to Lexington, and like I said, although I started playing football in the ninth grade, I started playing in a neighborhood band with some musicians named Billy Boy Skeets, Billy Boy McCowan, Skeets Buchanan on drums. Well, Billy Boy played guitar, Skeets Buchanan played drums, Willie Fain played keyboards, and Mr. Tilford Wallace played bass. That was the first band I played with. So we played my first gig, y'all, at 14. We
Oh,
played at
wow.
this place called the Pipeline, and it was inside of a boxing ring.
Mm.
And so, needless to say, I made my first $5, and and I was happy that the place was jumping, and you know,
Mhm.
you remember the song "Fence Walk" by Mandrill?
Gerald
No.
probably
By any
knows
chance?
that one.
I don't
Man,
know
we played that song so much. It was one of the longest songs on the record back then. We played that song about two or three times during the night. But I need to say, so that was my first stint of playing live in front of people at 14. And like I said, made my first $5. So jumping back forward, my senior year in high school, although I lettered and started my senior year as defensive back at Lafayette High School, I noticed wasn't getting any letters or any kind of letters from schools for like a athletic scholarship. And and keep in mind, my all three of my high school years, I started the Upward Bound program. Not sure if y'all heard of Upward Bound. Basically, anybody? Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Gerald probably has.
Yeah, it was basically a tutorial program for socioeconomic kids who wanted to go to school. So during the year, regular school year, we'd have tutorial sessions, but during the summers, we actually get an opportunity to stay on campus. So I got a chance to attend Kentucky State University's Upward Bound program. Now, the thing that blew me away was homecoming, my first homecoming. We would get free tickets to homecoming. That's when I got a chance to see the Kentucky State University marching band. Oh my
Mhm.
God, that blew my mind. You talking about an HBCU school? And keep in mind, that's the only HBCU school in Kentucky, in the capital city of Frankfort, Kentucky, right? So, as I was approaching graduation, like I said, I wasn't getting no athletic scholarship, so I decided to audition for the marching band.
Mm.
And needless to say, later on, I learned that I did get accepted, and so I started Kentucky State University in '76, my freshman year. And your last year in Upward Bound, you get a chance on campus. On that summer, you get a chance to the classes you take go towards your college credit. So, uh, so needless to say, I was in the marching band, concert band, jazz band, and the pep band. Now, the pep band back then that we had at
Okay, so
KK.
let's back up a little bit because
Thank you, 'cause girl, I'll be
this
rolling.
yeah, and which is appreciated because we love the information and this is how we get to know you. So I definitely appreciate that. But it's
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
when you've, come from, like you stated, a broken family, and it kind of disrupted you, mentally, spiritually, in some aspect or another. Was music your way of like releasing your sadness or your sorrows? Like, what drew you to music? It wasn't, did you just start at 14? Like, what drew you there? Was it something in particular, or was it just
Beautiful
enjoying
question.
it?
You're right. Thank you so much for that question. And ironically, the thing that really started me off was there was this group in Danville, Kentucky, um, called the Mystics, and um, they were made up of all musicians from Danville, Kentucky. But one thing that really sparked my interest, and I love that question, so because I don't get asked that as much. Um, in Danville, although it's a small town, they still was able to have cable access early, even back then, and
Oh.
we could get Louisville channels. And what happened was this group called the Mystics, they got selected to perform for a telethon in Louisville, Kentucky, called the WHAS TV Crusade for Children, and it was something that was helping handicapped kids, something to that effect.
Mm.
And so to be able to see the Mystics on television at 10 years old, I think that sparked that initial interest. And the reason why, and I think subconsciously, the reason why I wanted to learn how to play the saxophone, because the saxophone player in that band whose name was Jimmy Simpson. He played the saxophone. He lived right down the street from where we lived at in this little small, tiny 2 or 3 bedroom house on Russell Street in Danville. So to
Mhm.
see, that was my first experience of seeing someone that I knew on TV.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
so that's what sparked it. Okay. So they were
Okay.
the first, that was my first inspiration of like, wow. And keep in mind too, the Jackson 5 came out during that time frame. So we were buying 45s back then of ABC, I
Oh,
Want You
okay.
Back,
Yeah.
all those songs, Donny Osmond and the Osmond brothers.
Mhm.
And I even bought a Percy Sledge album at 10 years old. I was listening to Percy Sledge. When a man loves a woman. I was like, and of course at that time, and I had some cousins, my cousin Rodney, Durrell, Whitley, um, and I've got some other of our cousins. We would mimic the Beatles, and we would have broomsticks. We were on this lady's and this
Not
couple's
the
porch.
broomstick.
Yes, and mop stick. There was a couple by the name of Mr. Arthur and Maddie Gray. They had a back
Mhm.
patio, and it was right behind where my grandmother lived. And we would we was it had to have been 5 or 6 of us, but we were singing Beatles songs like "I Want to Hold Your Hand," "You Love Me," yeah, yeah. I mean, man, it was, and we was entertaining about, I think it was about 10 or 15 people there, and so that was probably my first time performing in front of somebody at that 10 and 11 years old, right? So and
So
yeah,
with you learning what your passion is and what what like intrigued you about that instrument in particular. So at this young age, Benny, again, how did you stay focused on it? Because trials and tribulations happen in life, and you're a young man learning a new instrument. How did you keep your focus? How did you maintain your passion?
you know what? Thank you so much for that question. I'm
You're
just gonna say
welcome.
it, I'm gonna put it bluntly like this: music practically saved my life because, like I said, I was acting out, doing aggressions, and to learn how to play that difficult instrument called the alto saxophone with all those keys. I remember
Mhm.
being in the beginning band playing. You had to form a sound first of all. It's one thing to try, let alone try to learn the keys. So I remember Mary Had a
Ah,
Little Lamb, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and may I add, my grandmother Maggie Whitley, bless God rest her soul, she was in a social club. She actually had me perform at a tea that they had. And so those two
ah,
songs, yes. So those two songs I shared, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Mary Had a Little Lamb, I played those and I got some hand claps. I said, wow.
good.
So
Yes,
so in between
yes.
so after all the squeaks, I finally got a decent.
Practice makes
So
perfect.
yeah, and I started playing in church too at that early age.
Mhm.
But yeah. So that's thank you for, oh man, you jogged my memory on, that's wild. Thank
Yeah,
you so much
because
for
I think
allowing me
it's
to go
yeah.
back.
When
Mm,
we have guests on, I think it's always important for us to kind of have you all kind of bring out your beginnings, of course, but just
mm,
because life is life, you're going to have trials and tribulations, and a lot of times people don't know how to stay focused, and sometimes our guests can help them. Okay, this is what I did, maybe this can
true
help
that.
you too,
True that.
because it's
Yeah,
going to happen.
exactly. And I have to add that I had a lot of friends. Well, let me start by saying there weren't very many blacks in the band
Hmm.
at the time. We had our number of blacks in Danville, obviously. Lexington is more black, population of blacks was more popular, but in those earlier years, there weren't very many blacks in the band. But I had some good friends, some white friends who, and we used to do contests. We used to have like ensembles, like the quartets, and contests. We would go from Danville to Richmond and like to compete, right? So I
Okay.
think those experiences and the parade, we every year I think I didn't get through the parade until 7th and 8th grade, and so having those, when you're marching up and down the street, man, you got your family and friends on the side cheering for you and stuff.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
cheesing and stuff at them, forgetting that you're playing a daggone note. But we had the little cute purple capes and the little hats, man. It was just something that was keeping me busy, and then going to band camp. Those were some great experience, and then I got into Boy Scouts early on. So basically, those experiences were keeping me out of trouble and keeping me focused. And one more organization that I got a chance to participate in was a boys club, whereas students from Center College, that was also in Danville, became big brothers to low income kids, black and white,
Mm-hmm.
who didn't have fathers in their lives. So they were kind of like our big brothers. They were kind of precursor basically to big brothers, big sisters. So they would take us on trips, things of that nature. But I do want to share one other thing too that I also helped me focus. In the sixth grade, I was part of an experimental situation where this teacher, Mr. Arthur B. Muncie, God bless him. So he's still with us, I understand. Man, he did an experiment and had an all boys class.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh, he
told us.
froze up. And so when he comes back, make sure we get to Sharon's question. Oh, there you go. You froze up a little bit, Beanie.
I'm sorry,
So
yeah.
we
But
want to talk about what you have going on now too. So we don't want to run out of that. So it's a good question from Sharon. It says, "Do you still perform for church sponsored teas?"
yes, you know what? I never forget where my lessons come from. So although I do the jazz clubs, concerts,
Mm-hmm.
uh, R&B clubs, and all that stuff, I never forget where my lessons come from. But I
Mhm.
want to share something real quick though. There was a controversy early on in my teen years because I was started playing in different bands and would play at church. I had pastors that were telling me, "You got to do one thing or another. Thus said the Lord." I'm like, and so I was conflicted. But thank God there was one pastor named Mr. Rep Pastor H.L. Parks at St. Paul AME Church, historic St. Paul AME Church. He said the J stands for Jerome. So he said, "Now, Jerome, you can be a blessing to folks wherever they are. You might see somebody on the corner, you might see somebody in the club, but as long as you never forget where your blessings come from,
That's
always use your gift."
Mhm.
And so he freed me mentally and emotionally to be able to play in church, even though I played in clubs. So because it
mm-hmm.
is a ministry basically. So I still to this day I play at I do an 8:30, 10:30 service here in Louisville, a church called Greater Galilee. But I'm not a member, but I'm part of the music ministry, and I have flexibility because I get asked to do A&B selections at other churches for programs, whatever. So, and they understand Eric, Pastor Dr. Eric A. Johnson, man, and that whole congregation, man. They've embraced me as part of their family, and they understand when I have some, other obligation. I give them a heads up. Sometimes I might not have time to give them.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is I definitely never ever forget what my blessings come
Your
from.
volume is going down.
Yeah, we're losing your
I
volume.
hear you. Can you hear us?
So yeah,
Oh, there you
I
go.
can hear y'all perfectly. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
and I guess I would get into my freshman year at Kentucky State University now. Y'all have some other questions you need to ask,
Well,
please?
I think Gerald had a question. I
well, I think
think
we're out of
Gerald.
Yes, sir.
time. I think
Oh, okay.
we're at the end of the time. So
That's
uh,
okay. I appreciate the opportunity for me to y'all be reminisce, man, about the history, man. I'm like, wow, that's nostalgic right there. Kind of
yeah, but we
Yeah,
want
heartwarming.
and
to.
one of the go ahead, Gerald.
You said Desiree said actually that you have a tour schedule going on. So can you tell us a little bit about your tour schedule that you have?
Could you repeat that, please?
Desiree said you had an extensive tour schedule going on. Can you tell us a little bit about
Oh
that?
man, yes. Well, basically when I perform, I either perform either solo with tracks or depending on the budget with 3 or 4 piece band. And then if the budget's really decent, then I'll hire a female vocalist to join me, and it's called the Bennie J and Friends concept. And this came about because I got tired of the band breakup syndrome. Um,
Mhm.
as I said, I survived, went through a depression after one particular band broke up, and by the grace of God, I had a praying mother. But as far as my tour schedule, man, it's either locally here in Louisville. My motto is have gig, will travel. So I got 4 or 5 gigs lined up this week: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 3 of them are in Louisville, and one is in Owensboro, Kentucky, as part of the Juneteenth celebration.
Mhm.
I mean, I just stay busy, and I thank God for the blessings and opportunities. I do want to mention one thing, please, if I have, got a minute,
Go ahead.
Go
may
ahead.
I? Because what took me to this level that I'm on now, it started my freshman year at Kentucky State University. I got blessed to, I told you I won a scholarship in the marching band, but I also earned a second chair alto saxophone seat in the KSU Jazz Ensemble under the direction of Mr. David Anderson. What I witnessed, that is where I witnessed Mr. Reggie Calloway and Mr. Bill Simmons put musicians together from the jazz band, as well as a female vocalist from the university and gospel choir, to form the techno funk group Midnight Star.
Okay.
So that was my
Ah,
second. That was my second inspiration. I told you about the Mystics when I was 10 and 11. Seeing them
yeah.
on W. So that was my second experience. So to see them, and 2 of them came in as freshmen with me, Bo Watson and Melvin Gentry. So to
Mhm.
see them formulate that group, and they started practicing on campus, and then before they eventually got kicked off campus for being too loud with the practice. But to see them emulate what they did, so all the bands that I would try to get in, I would try to make sure we try to emulate what they did. And I'm still friends with those guys to this day, although the Calloway brothers, they left eventually to start producing for other members. But Midnight Star, to this day, are still performing and touring. And I'm still close with each and every one of them. So I think they're responsible for what I'm trying to do and continue to do with my music and entertainment uh, career and experiences. Yeah. So thank you for getting it. That's so important because that was phenomenal. Can you imagine just and seeing what they've become as they went on and make those major hits, double platinum, award-winning songwriters,
Yes,
and
exactly.
each of them are still gifted in their own right. So I want to give a shout out to Midnight Star, Mr. David Anderson. Mr. David Anderson was my saxophone and woodwind instructor. He's the one that fine-tuned my sound and my technique and my
Mm.
improvisational skills. So thank you for allowing me to get that in.
You're
Okay.
welcome. You was gonna force us to do it anyway, so we just let you have the floor.
I think the Midnight Star was just here this past week in Maryland. They were just here.
Oh man, yeah, man. They're gonna be. I'm trying to. I've been blessed. I'm gonna share this because a lot of people don't know this. Some do, but don't. I got blessed to have an investor, man. Stepped out of the shadows, man. And what I'm going to do with that investment, I want to bring an old school R&B concert back to Kentucky State University for their homecoming this year. And so
Ah,
we're considering Midnight Star to be the headliner since they came from there, and Club Nouveau, Mr. J. King and Club
Yeah.
Nouveau, and Bennie J and friends will probably be opening up the concert.
All right.
So I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but I wanted at least people be aware that what I'm be even more getting blessed to be a part of, man. It's crazy. God's just so good, man. And people, all I can say is, if I may, never, ever, ever give up on your dreams.
mhm.
A friend of mine named Leroy Flip Hall told me as a sophomore at Kentucky State University, never stop playing your axe. So here
Mm.
I am.
All right.
Good for you.
All right. Well, thank you
Man,
for
thank you.
coming by tonight and talking to us.
Yes.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you all so much. And once again, thank Miss Desiree. And give a shout out to my family, friends, my band members who shared the stage with me, vocalists, and everybody in Kentucky, Lexington, Danville, Franklin,
Yes.
Louisville.
Well,
Glad
you
to,
have quite a few fans here, so you
oh
know,
man, beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful.
So everyone's enjoying your interview. Sharon, Lucy, Babs. So they're definitely giving you
Ah,
support as
beautiful.
well.
Thank you all
Yes.
so much. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes.
And thank y'all so much for what y'all do for independent artists, man. We are truly
Oh, you're
without you all,
welcome.
man. We wouldn't have this exposure. So we are truly grateful and humbled and honored that you all are doing what y'all do for independent artists.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Anytime. And next time we're gonna do an hour show just for you because you talk a lot.
You promise? You promise?
All
We,
right.
Pinky,
we
pink,
promise.
look, pinky swear. Pinky swear. Let me get my pinky up here.
Biggest,
Pinky swear.
All right.
No, just
I
let me know,
love it.
man.
Great
Just let me
job.
know, man, and we'll make it happen. God bless y'all, man. Thank you, Gerald and Miss Tina
Thank
Marie.
you.
Appreciate y'all, man. God
Have
bless.
a
You're
good one.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
I love his energy and his spirit. He has a really good spirit. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it was so funny to me because I was wanting us to kind of go into him boxing. It's like, some boxers don't look like they would box. He doesn't look like he was a boxer, that he was in anybody's ring.
Right. Right.
Yes, such a great gentleman, such a great guy. I love it. Love it. All right. So who we got next, Gerald?
You're gonna introduce the next person, right?
All right, we got Lizz Russell. Okay, so one of the things that I really like about her, and this is what, and of course, I didn't know her prior to this, but one of the things that just captivated me was just the simple title, Fashion with Compassion. That drew me in. It's like, ooh, tell me more. So I love that just by itself. So I think this is going to be a very interesting interview. So I'm excited about this. So yes, so let's get Lizz Russell out here. Come on, Lizzie.
Hello, everyone. Thank
Hello,
you
how you
guys so
doing?
much for having me. Thank you, Desiree, for setting this up for me. Appreciate you so very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
look, you
how
out there.
are you? How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing great. I'm blessed.
Excellent.
Yes.
Go ahead,
hmm
Gerald. I know you had something.
Oh, I said I know Desiree's out there listening in the audience. So,
Oh
but so
yeah.
you do the celebrity designer. Tell us a little bit about how you got started with that.
Okay. I am celebrity designer, Liz Russell, also founder of a nonprofit called Survivorlicious, Serving Survivors, in which I am a survivor of a rare disease called Guillain-Barré Syndrome, GBS. And so I've kind of, I guess you could say, the two have combined themselves in me being a designer and also being a patient advocate. I've been a patient advocate for about since 2008. And I've been a designer for a little over 30 years, the Lizz Russell Collection. I'm based out of San Diego, California. And so 13 years ago, this year, I just had my 13th annual. It's called Compassion and Fashion. You were
Ah,
close. Compassion and
I
Fashion,
love it.
because I feel like the compassion comes before the fashion.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
I do a fashion show fundraiser to bring awareness to GBS. And I do a runway show, and it's beautiful. And we honor patients and survivors and caregivers and their families, and we give them awards for just being able to come through something so horrific. I mean, it's something that you
Mhm.
have to detect early. I know I'm really mixing the two because that's how they go, the compassion and fashion
Mhm.
together. So, like I said, I just did my 13th annual, and I had the opportunity to meet and connect with Desiree through another friend of mine who recommended me, Maria Antoinette. And she's been doing an amazing job with me on my publicity. Really great job. Yeah,
Excellent.
excellent. So
Excellent.
I know you guys have some questions for me, and I would love that.
Yes. Go ahead, Gerald.
But yeah, Desiree does a great job. So, but I want to know more about but I don't excuse me, I don't remember the name because you said
GBS.
What
GBS.
GBS. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I'd like to know more about that and how you well, I guess why you intertwined it with fashion.
Yes, well, GBS is it's a neurological disease of the nervous system, and it comes in with, it sort of mimics a stroke. So you're having like
Ah,
tingling and a little pain and, just different symptoms, and you'll probably want to go to the ER, to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
But the sad thing about it is for them to diagnose you, that's why they have to be really sure and certain, because they have to give you a spinal to see if you have protein in the fluids.
mm,
So a lot of times the doctors, they do send you back home saying that, oh, just go home and get some rest, and, if you need to come back, but you need to probably stick around and let them know that you feel like it's something more than, that you need to come back. So it's a lot of people get sent home. That's why I'm, talking about it. A lot of people get sent home, and you can literally go into a coma. You
Oh
can, because
my.
everything starts shutting down. Yes, absolutely. And so that's why I advocate for
Mhm.
GBS and awareness, because I want everybody to know about this. It's something, it comes in after a virus, it comes in after COVID, it comes in after, I hate to say
Ah,
this, but after vaccines, anytime that
mm,
you get some type of, vaccine, or you've had COVID, it starts like that. It comes in,
wow,
and
wow.
you could be, subject to it. And it's not contagious. It's
Mhm.
not hereditary. Anybody can get it. Babies, pregnant women, men, older, younger, any ethnicity. It doesn't matter who you are, you can get it.
Okay.
Yes, but
Yeah,
there are
and
treatments
I've
for it
never heard
now.
of it. Yeah, I've never heard of
Yeah.
this before. So this is definitely brings an awareness aspect to it for sure. So what made you intertwine fashion with this?
Well, I was actually going to school to be a fashion designer. And I was going to, I don't know if you've heard of Brooks College in Long Beach, California.
Oh,
They're
mm-mm.
not, they're, long gone now, but I
Oh, okay.
was, yeah, going to school for fashion merchandising. And
Mhm.
it just, I mean, I was doing really well. I didn't feel like there was anything wrong. And just all of a sudden, it just hit me.
Oh,
I just
wow.
started feeling really kind of weird. And everything kind of went downhill from there.
Mhm.
So I was, like I said, I was going to school to be a fashion designer. I just basically dropped off the face of the earth. All my friends, no one knew where I was, because I
Mhm.
was hospitalized for like 4.5 months in
Wow.
ICU, and then physical therapy. You have to go through all of that to get yourself back to, you know, pretty much where you started.
Oh
Some people
my.
don't
Wow.
get back, and I'm very, very fortunate, and I'm very blessed. Is the
Mhm.
reason why I have combined compassion and fashion. I always tried to separate it, like,
Mhm.
how am I gonna, I want to do fashion shows and I want to do this. But then here's the GBS side where you can actually, bring awareness to it. So I kind of totally accepted the two together and combined it, and it works very well because, like you just said, you had never heard of it. And I want you
Ex-
to know about GBS
Yes,
and
yes.
CIDP. It's another neurological disease, also. It's a little more chronic than
Ah,
GBS. Yes.
ah, wow, wow. So Lala has a question here
Hmm.
because she had never heard of this neither. So how could someone find out more about, like she says, the symptoms or, you know, get more
Um,
educated with it?
Well, you can actually go to my website, and there's lots of information on GBS and CIDP, and I would love to enlighten her. I could send her some information on it, because I'm
Okay.
telling you, the people that get sent home that don't really know about it, and they just say, they sent me home several times. They
That's,
did. I was
wow.
misdiagnosed like 5 or 6 times. I kept going back, and God was
Mm,
really with me, because I just
mm,
started getting weaker and weaker, and I just got to the point where I couldn't do anything else. And my
right.
sister, she looked through the yellow pages and found a neurologist and took me there, and then they gave me the spinal tap. But you
Okay.
know, everyone needs to know about this. It's not something that you should just stumble upon if you're having symptoms and you have to go to the ER, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of,
Mm-hmm.
they're starting to know a lot more about it now, but I really wish there was more information out there before you actually get to the ER, so they'll know, you understand, so they'll know how to treat
Yes.
you, because there, like I said, there is um treatment for it now.
Ah, well, that's good. That's really
Yes.
good. So now let's talk about like the fashion. Have you always been into fashion? I mean, you look really cute. So I'm thinking,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
you've been.
you. Thank you.
So
Yes,
yeah,
I've always. Mhm.
so tell us about like the fashion part. Like what made you, have you always been in fashion?
Yes, I've been designing for years, and my designs empower and they uplift, and I bring
Mm.
awareness through style, elevating visibility through,
Ah,
GBS. And also, a lot of my designs, women love them because they fit multiple sizes. If you can wrap your mind around that, it's really a cool
well, I'm trying to
concept.
wrap my mind around that burgundy dress back there, but I'm thinking some parts are not gonna sink in there.
Yes, yes. And a lot of the dresses and things that I design, they're very fluid and they fit all. I love fit using all body types. I have been doing this for maybe like 15, 20 years,
Oh wow.
inclusiveness of larger sizes. And, my
Ah,
models, they run the gamut from a size 4 to like a size 20. I specialize in doing larger sizes. There is a market for that, and there's beauty
yes,
in that. There's
absolutely,
beauty in it.
absolutely.
And the pieces that I design, you can wear them several different ways. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
really
bragging,
good.
they never go out of style, my pieces. You can pull them out 5, 10 years from now and still be current.
So are your pieces on your website as well? Like all your
Yes,
designs?
yes,
Okay.
they're on the
Okay.
website. And I also do trunk shows and, private events. And when I do my fashion shows and word of mouth. And yeah, so I stay pretty busy.
Well,
I stay pretty
that's a
busy.
good thing. That's a good thing.
Well,
Yes.
I dropped
Hmm.
your link in the comments for everyone to see. So I
Yeah,
mean,
excellent.
Okay,
they click on
perfect.
click on your link and go shopping and buy some of your pieces. So
Yeah, because I like that
Yes.
burgundy dress in the back. I just need some more fabric.
Okay, yeah, because the back is completely out. But
Oh yeah.
so you can wear a tank top with it.
Tank top
You
ain't gonna
can wear
work
a
for
tank
me.
top. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But no,
It's
that's
pretty
really, I
versatile.
love that. Very pretty, very
Thank
pretty.
you.
So
Thank you.
so you only do dresses? Like what type of designs you do?
I do dresses, I do pantsuits, I
Uh,
do red carpet events. I really do a lot of red carpet events. And I do casual pieces because 2020, it took a toll on us. So we couldn't
uh,
go out and go different places or whatever. So I started designing some just beautiful pieces for just going to the grocery store, some,
mm,
bling tank tops and, caftans that are kind of short with, little shorts underneath and just real simple,
ah.
fun stuff. Yeah. So I designed quite a few pieces. I
Now,
do a lot of mini collections.
okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
because when you mentioned caftans, those are actually, because my grandmother used to wear those, but now they're like a little more fashionable though now, you
Yes,
know,
yes,
which is really, really cool.
yes, yes. That's one of my favorite things. I just created one that you can actually wear little shorts under it. Just real fun.
Oh,
Yeah, just
okay.
real cute. Or you
Okay.
don't have to.
That would be me.
Yeah. Yes. I see one of my survivor persons on there, Miss Serena. Thank you for
Serena?
coming, Serena. Yeah,
Yes.
she was just honored at our event last
Oh,
month.
wonderful.
Yes, she is a
Wonderful.
longtime survivor as well. Hmm.
Yes. So real quick, could you like maybe let everyone know like some of the symptoms just for, a little, because I know it's probably
Yes,
going to vary depending on individuals, but what are some of the symptoms?
yeah. Some of the symptoms are like tingling in your hands, in your
Mm-hmm.
fingers, a little bit of pain, just a little sluggishness. I know that when I started out, it hit my face, and I still have a paralysis on the right side of my face. But I started out with, if you've ever heard of Bell's palsy.
Oh, yes.
It's yeah, I had that, and it shifted my face. But if you're having these
Uh,
symptoms of
mhm,
tingling and like numbness and weakness walking, and you
mhm,
just feel like it's something that, is not normal, I would go
mhm.
into, the ER and let them know about your symptoms. Be very clear with them on, how you're feeling and what you're feeling. And if you feel like it's too severe, don't let them send you home, because
Right, that
I've
part.
seen things
Yes.
happen. Yeah, if you're having, different symptoms, and unfortunately, by doing the spinal, that's the only way you could tell if
Uh,
it's GBS or not. And you will be hospitalized for a while. You
mhm,
will.
mhm.
Yeah, but nowadays they kind of want to, get you in there and start you on treatment, then kind of send you home. But there's more to it than that. You have to have a support system, a
Right. Yeah, I'm sure
really
that
good
that is a
support
very.
system.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
So
because a lot
I
of times it
must
can
commend
attack.
you though. I want to definitely
Thank you.
commend you in this time because sticking to what it is that you're passionate about, of course, fashion,
Hmm.
and then going through what you're going through as far as health wise. I mean, I think you like bravo, bravo, because you
Thank
doing
you. I
it thing. And
appreciate
I
that.
think that is, yeah, that is definitely to be commended. So I love your bravery and your courage.
Thank you,
So
Tina. Thank you.
yes,
I appreciate
love
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
So
that's some great advice you got right there.
And
Yes,
I like the fact
absolutely.
that you're not only doing you're putting on this event every year and you're making people aware of this because like Tina said I had never heard of it before, so
yeah,
this
yeah.
is an awareness moment for the both of us because I had never heard of it before too.
Right. I'm so happy to enlighten all three of you. That means a lot to me, because that means, what I'm doing is seriously making a difference. And that's what I want to do. Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're making a difference and looking cute at it. So I'm all about it, girl.
Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Thank you, Miss Tina. I appreciate that. And I love your hat
yes.
too. Yes,
Oh,
I love
thank
it.
you. Yes. If you
Uh,
ever get into making hats, I will definitely be a customer
Okay.
because
Okay.
I
That
love
sounds
hats.
good. Yes,
Thank you, darling.
that sounds really good.
Thank
Yes.
you, thank you. This is so awesome. I
And
just
so
love this.
also there's a patient hospitalized right now that I'm advocating for. Um, he is coming along a lot better. He's been in this facility since January.
Hmm.
And about a month and a half ago, he just got the trach taken out. So now he's able to talk, and they're working
Wow.
with physical therapy on him. So it's a long process, and you do have to be patient
Yes,
and
yes,
have
yes.
a lot of prayers. A lot of
Hmm.
times families, they don't have people to help them out. A spouse will probably have to quit their job to take care of the other person, more than
Wow,
likely. It
wow.
just all depends. And there's a lot of advocating and insurance and just different things you need to be aware of. So
Yes,
that's one of the
wow.
other things that
That's
I do as well.
look at you. Look at Miss Liz. Okay,
Yes.
Miss Liz. I love it.
Yeah. And being stylish at the same time if I
Hey,
can.
you might as well be cute at it. Hey, I'm all for it.
Yes.
I like it. I like it.
that's great
Yes.
work that you're doing there.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Gerald. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I really appreciate being on this show. Thank you.
Oh, you
Thank you
did
again,
excellent.
Desiree.
Yes. Desiree does an
Hmm.
awesome job with her clients, and she always, she's one of our biggest supporters. So we appreciate her like big
That's
time.
awesome.
So
Yeah,
she
That's
has
thank
awesome.
you.
I'm
wonderful
definitely going to put
clients.
this on my website. Yeah, on my
Absolutely.
website so people can see it.
Okay.
Yes. And see
Yeah.
you. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. You need
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
seen.
Yes. Thank you for
Yes.
that. I
I
appreciate
love
it.
it. Well, thank you so
Hmm.
much for joining us. This has definitely been enlightening. I learned something new again. I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh,
I
you're
appreciate it.
welcome. You're
Thank
welcome. And
you
I
so much.
appreciate being on here too. Anytime I can spread the word about GBS, it just, it's
Hmm.
very much needed, you know.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
All right.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
have a good evening out there in sunny California. And
Thank you. And it's beautiful out too.
4:30.
It is
Yeah.
beautiful out here.
Sun's still up.
Yeah, they still have
Yes.
the sun. We getting dark over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you guys are 3 hours
Yeah.
We're
ahead.
3 hours
ahead.
behind
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Mm.
All right.
Can-
Well, thank you again, Miss Liz. We'll definitely be talking more because I think
Okay.
this is something that people really need to know more about. So we're going to
Oh
try and
yeah,
see
I
how
think
we
so
can
too.
squeeze that in
Yeah,
somehow, some way. We'll make a way.
All right.
Definitely.
yeah. Thank you so much for the interview on this. I really appreciate it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. I love it.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Yes, this is so awesome. That is definitely information I had no clue of.
Yeah.
And that is so
Neither
interesting.
Neither
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I'm glad we got to hear that because I'm glad. Hopefully, there's people that heard it too.
Exactly.
Spread the
Exactly.
word more because
hmm
those are
I
things
always
to know about. You know.
exactly. I always say it's good to know and not need it than to need it and not know. So
Exactly.
information is powerful,
Yeah.
regardless if you need it or not. It's
Right.
information. Very powerful.
Yeah. And I just
So
want
yeah.
to drop this one tidbit of information again. When you're
hmm
doing a live show, make sure you hit the go live
Yeah, because somebody
button.
didn't click the button. So we was live, but we was only live with the 4 people that you see here.
5. You're getting buffed. See?
Okay, 5. Oh, excuse me. I wasn't good at math, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But yes, but still, it was an awesome show.
Yeah.
And we thank each and every one of our guests. Again, great guests always. And
Right.
knowledge is power. I love the walkaways
Shout
and the
out to
take.
Desiree for the 2 guests tonight. We appreciate you reaching out.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
All
Let me know.
All righty. So until next time, boys and girls, we will see you then.
All right.
Now it's time to say goodbye.
Wow.
See you real soon. Remember that? MIC.